The company started well over 100 years ago in 1904 by my great-grandfather, who came to Sandford to Myrtle Farm, where we still make the cider. And he was very much a mixed farmer. He produced some cider, and he had pigs and cows and chickens and just a general mixed farmers. There were a lot of mixed farms in Somerset. And then over the generations, we've tended to focus more and more on fewer things, and until eventually we're very much focused on our cider and our apple growing. We still are farmers, we still have some beef cattle and grow some maize, so we're still rooted in farming traditions, but our main focus now is very much on producing and selling cider. I became managing director of Thatchers Cider about 20 years ago, I guess, and it's through really my father's good counsel of having a good succession plan. I have a younger brother, who's 3 years younger than me, who was very much into farming, and I was more into the cider making. So through his good counsel and extremely long-term planning, we've ended up with a situation where he's a farmer and I'm a cider maker, and that's quite important in a family business, that you get the next generation in their right places. Hopefully I will have the good foresight and good counsel to do the same with my two children, Eleanor and Peter, and that hopefully they will run the company on successfully for another generation. The type of business we have quite a number of routes to market, and we are both on trade and off trade, so we deal with people like Sainsbury's and Tesco, but also with pub groups and pubs and individual pubs, and they are quite different ways of dealing and doing business. So dealing with the supermarkets, albeit well documented, is quite a tough challenge to deal with them. There are some huge upsides in that at a press a button, literally you can have a national brand, whereas on the other side, on the on trade, you have to basically go around and see almost every single individual landlord and pub, so of course the development is much longer, but it's a very different business and it's built on relationships, whereas with the supermarkets it's much more a sort of a business and transaction and about numbers rather than about relationships. So we're fortunate enough we have both sides of the business, both of which have their different challenges, both of which are interesting, and I think it's good that we have that diversity. I think you need a big spread of customers. The bigger the spread, the better it is. Big customers can very quickly change their mind and can be very fickle, whether because they've decided to follow a new strategy, new corporate strategy, or because the new products come along, whereas the smaller customers tend to be a lot more loyal, but also you tend to get a lot more useful feedback from the smaller customers, who will come and tell you genuinely how well or badly your product's doing, and you can make tweaks or use it on your new product development. And I think that's really important for any entrepreneur and any company, to keep improving, generating new ideas, and that generally comes from being very close to your smaller customers. So we see them as being very important. Traditionally, our marketing has really been all about word of mouth, and it's been about the quality of the product and letting the word spread very much by word of mouth and by recommendation. As a business now, we're growing and we're moving into a different sort of position where our products have grown quite quick, our sales have grown quite quickly, but now we're using some marketing and some advertising. So we've taken the huge step this year of putting Thatchers Gold on TV. So the first adverts will be aired in the middle of May. So this is very exciting for us, but also quite a scary move as well at the same time. I think the alcohol market is very similar. There will be similar business issues to setting up any other sort of business, and looking after customers and staff and product and all those things that go with it. But I suppose the difference in the alcohol business is that you have to market and produce and sell your products responsibly, and as a business and as an industry we take that very, very seriously, and it's important that we carry on being leading edge of that. Well, I suppose breaking into any market, alcohol or not, the thing or the two things you need is, first of all, a great product. The product has to be first class, world class, and you need a great idea to go with it. Now, if you don't have those two items, whether it's in the alcohol industry or anything or any other business, then it is going to be very, very difficult. And even in a growth industry such as the cider industry, it is littered with products that didn't live up to both those high standards and have come and gone very quickly. And of course, on top of that, you've got to overlay that it's got to be responsible marketing, responsible drinking, as well as all the other bits. So it's reasonably tough, but I think it's tough in any business. Well, there's always challenges and obstacles. Every day something comes along, but I suppose we're in FMCG category, which it's not called fast moving consumer goods for nothing. It's about keeping up and being innovative and developing new products fit for the new type of consumer, and that's an everyday thing, and it moves on very quickly, and product life cycles now seem to become shorter and shorter, so we need to keep moving faster and faster, and I think that's a challenge in the past and now and in the future, and it's not going to go away, and we should keep rising to that challenge to keep in front of our competitors. Competition's always tough, and I suppose in any business, if you consider the competition to be soft, then that's probably just before you're going to fall over, because you always have to be on your toes. The market's always moving on, and whether it's our competitors or our consumers, you've always got to work hard to do the very best you can and keep improving and keep moving forward with either new ideas or new products, new ways of selling, and so you could never ever be complacent. The main benefit of running a family business is that you can make some very quick decisions, and you can base your decision making on much longer term paybacks or for the good of the company. So for example, for us, our long-term plan is to leave a sustainable business for the next generation, so we're maybe planning 10-20 years ahead, and perhaps if you were working for a PLC or a city company, then you'd be really based on this year and possibly next year or the year after. So different sort of challenge and different way of making decisions. I suppose hindsight is a wonderful thing, and if I knew what I know now 10 years ago, I'd have done things quite differently. I think generally what we've done and where I am at the moment is probably every little boy's dream. I've got a brewery or a cider mill producing great products in the middle of a beautiful county of Somerset. I think that's a really great position to be in. Yes, of course, there's always opportunities that you've missed and you wish you'd taken up, perhaps other things to perhaps sell or different brands, but generally it's a great position to be in, and I shouldn't be unhappy of where I am at all.